Whoa. We expecting everybody except for Kim and Mary Martha? Are those the only ones we think we're missing? Will Shelby be here? So we've got a quorum, at least from the board standpoint, either way. Hey.
Still smiling. It's been a long day. It's not over yet. Your wife cracked me up. She was in the middle of Nick like last week on Friday when she was setting up for the space. I mean, all into it. I was like, oh, that group.
She loves that stuff.
All over it. It was really cute. They did a really great job before they go on.
Yeah, she showed me some pictures of the setup, and it was
Pretty impressive.
it really was.
Oh, no, the fact is How you doing, Forrest?
Hey, I'm well.
Doing okay.
Good.
It's time.
Yep, I saw Shelby just pulled up, so we can
Okay.
start, and he'll jump in at the Pledge of Allegiance or shortly after it. So good afternoon, everybody. It is that time, so I will call our meeting to order of the Butler Community College Board of Trustees. This is our regular meeting on October 14th, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Does anyone have any suggested edits to the agenda? And if not, would entertain a motion to approve it.
I move that.
Like to amend the We almost got it.
Got a
I move that we move item from the consent agenda regarding the EMT program to board action.
EMT, so Roman numeral 10 F sub A.
Haverhill was open.
Is that bridge not where we're moving that to?
To, I guess it would be to action item 9C. Do we have a second on that? I'll take Shelby's comment as a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Trustee Good is absent. Trustee Brungard is absent. Trustee Jolly.
We're just voting to amend to, okay.
You have
Yep.
to hold it in. Trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslig.
Yes.
Trustee Shearer.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Okay, that passes 5-0. Any other amendments? If not, would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as we have amended it.
I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
Trustee Good and Trustee Brungard are absent. Trustee Jolly.
Yes.
Trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslig.
Yes.
Trustee Shearer.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes. Okay, that also passes 5-0. Dr. Daniel, recognitions.
Okay, so the first one up we have today is our Vice President, Tom Borrego. He has been named the 2025 Outstanding Fundraising Professional
by the Heartland chapter of AFP or the Association of Fundraising Professionals. The award is given to an individual who has demonstrated exceptional leadership, vision, and impact in the world of philanthropy. The fact that Tom was chosen by his peers outside of the board of the local AFP chapter speaks volumes about his reputation, dedication, and passion he brings to his work. Tom will also be recognized in front of his peers on November 12th during the National Philanthropy Day luncheon. And I can tell you that firsthand with working with him, he brings the very best in everything that he does. So thank you, Tom.
Like, I can't believe this. Why is she looking at me?
Okay, next up, we have a huge number of employees that represented Butler at the Kansas State Fair, and you can see by the numerous volumes of people that are here, there were quite a few of them. Is anybody in the room today that was part of that group?
Bill.
Bill.
Oh, yes, Bill. Then you're going to get all the certificates again now. So,
I do.
But
We get-
thank you for going up and representing us. Did you take the statue out of Big Ev?
and the last recognition we have is really quite incredible. The instrumental chair, Brett Martinez, is proud to announce that the Butler Community College Percussion Ensemble an invitation to perform at the 2026 Kansas Music Educators Association in-service workshop. This is the highest honor a performing ensemble can receive in Kansas. The directors submit applications and recordings of 3 selections from ensembles for which they want to be considered. Independent review committees then evaluate and prioritize in a blind audition process. Only 5 community college instrumental ensembles have performed at the KMEA ISW. Of those, 3 have represented Butler Community College: the BCC Clarinet Quartet in 2016, the BCC Jazz Ensemble last year, and the BCC Percussion Ensemble this upcoming February. Only 2 community college chamber ensembles have performed at the KMEA ISW. A lot of letters. The BCC Clarinet Quartet and the BCC Percussion Ensemble. It is also such an achievement of distinction for a department to be represented 2 times in consecutive years. First and foremost, the achievement is a testament to all the hard work and dedication of our Butler percussion students and our percussion instructor and percussion ensemble director, Kim Trujillo. It is also important to acknowledge the excellent instruction and support of our students receive all of our outstanding in that discipline. The tentative performance time is scheduled Thursday, February 26th from 1:35 to 2:10 at the Hyatt Regency Hotel, Ballrooms E through H in Wichita. So the percussion ensemble is under the direction of Kim Trujillo and Brett Martinez, and the list of students involved are there. Is there anyone from that group here? Great. All we have.
Okay, anybody signed up for public comment? Anyone that is here? Do we have anyone that would like to make public comment? If not, we will just move on to our standing reports, starting with Sam Gupta and student government.
Last time it didn't. But hi everyone, I'm Sam. My full name's Samrithi, but for your convenience, you can call me Sam. So for SGA, we haven't done many events from September till October, but we have our Fall Fest coming up. We have also made a deal with Walter's Pumpkin Patch for Fall Fest, so students can get into Walter's Pumpkin Patch for free. And we have an SGA meeting tomorrow at 4. So what all we did was this month and last month we had a student section for our football games. We had student themes. We gave out cupcakes for Constitution Day. We have another student section which was blackout theme. And then we have been restocking feminine products across campus and restocking and continuing our operations for food pantry. That's all. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up, Carrie Smith and up staff.
Last month, we actually were able to award two $500 book scholarships to 2 operational staff employees. So the 500 is 500 for the year, so they'll get 250 per semester. And then coming up, we will be working on some fundraising, and then also we will start looking at choosing a family to adopt for Christmas times. We usually do that. So
Great, thank you. Next up, we have professional employees. I see Corey instead of Camille, so.
Yes, don't be confused. I am not Camille. I'm Corey. Most of you know me, I think. I'm an English teacher. I'm a vice president of the association. Camille couldn't make it, so I have 3 things to apprise you of. One is just that, like we said last time, we're still working toward gearing up for negotiations. We have a survey going out soon this week that all the professional employees will rank possible negotiating topics and suggest other ones. So that's where we are in our process at the moment. The second thing is that we have the Higher Ed Symposium coming up in November. 6 of us from our professional employees will be going. It's a pretty cool thing that actually a lot of people have a lot of opinions about Terry Sater. One thing that we can all agree on is that he gets a lot of attention if he wants it. And in fact, this Higher Ed Symposium, which we're in, I think our 4th one, or it might be the 5th now, is something that he started in the KNEA for the purposes of making sure that that organization gives full attention or proportional attention to higher education, because they tend to be K-12 focused so often. And it has been extremely fruitful. It's really invigorating and exciting to go there. For example, that's when we get to meet with our KBOR lobbyist. And that is helpful for us because we think it's fun to try to see whether what your lobbyist tells you guys is corroborated by what ours tells us, or whether there's daylight between their positions. Anyway, that's coming up. And then the last thing is that, like last year, we have our Oktoberfest Faculty Appreciation Party coming up on the 24th. That's a Friday, this time from 5 to 7 on that day at Spalding's. And last year we did extend an invitation to board members, but nobody showed. But we would love it, honestly, if you came. I know that it's problematic if more than a certain number of you show up, right? Can there be 3 there, or 3 is too many? Okay, so please submit applications. We'll review those and we'll let you know who's invited. But that's it. Does anybody have any questions for me about anything?
What was that date again?
The 24th, Friday. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Finance Committee, Linda, Dave, anything to share?
I have my notes. Really, everything is in line, and it's kind of early in the process. There are a few minor differences in some things, but they're real minor. And I think as the time goes on, our finances will even align even greater, or even closer to 25, 26. So, but there isn't anything out of order. And I think what the auditors have kind of been here for a couple of weeks, but yet they're okay.
Is that 4 of his Mazars? Are they our auditor? Okay, any questions for, no? Okay. On the foundation board, so I don't know where my brain was last month when we asked about this, and I said we were having a meeting next month when we'd had one like 3 weeks earlier that I was actually present at. But so a little sheepishly give you the report that I should have given you last month. But so an update on the foundation's portfolio with Bank of America US Trust. The fair market value at the end of our fiscal year, so June 30th, was about 18.2 million versus the end of fiscal year 2020. Well, the end of the previous fiscal year was about 16.38 million. So an increase of about 1.8 million. There were no grants received during the quarter leading up to that. The foundation board is going to be coming to us with a request that the college designate the property that is adjacent to the Redler Institute as being used for educational purposes. The focus of that is it's a property tax standpoint. So it's not treated as commercial and we're having to pay property tax on it when we're not making commercial use out of it. So do you know what the timing is on that ask, Tom? Okay, well, just a heads up that we'll see it at some point down the road. That is all I have from the foundation side. Dr. Daniel, your report.
Sure. I feel like it's been an extremely busy month, but I will just start simply with today because that's on my mind. We had Institutional Development Day today. It was extremely impressive to me being the first one that I was at. Mark Jarvis and his team did an outstanding job. Just the work that went into the preparation and the fact that Clifford Stone room was packed and people were engaged. You know, the VP staff did a really great job with their presentation that kept people alive. And so that was really fun. I was impressed all the way around. I mean, people were engaged, people were learning, people were connecting, and that's what it's about. So it was a fantastic day. On September 25th, we also had our foundation scholarship dinner where our students and our donors come together. And that also was a phenomenal event. The room was completely packed out, very gracious students. I had several international students at my table, and it was amazing to talk with them and hear about their experiences. And so I was really pleased with that event and pleased with the attendance. And I think it's just a testament to we do events really well. They're well put together and they're well run, and it's very much appreciated. I have attended quite a few advisory board meetings. It is my intent to get around to as many of them as I possibly can. I don't think that has been something that's been done here much by the president because most of the advisory board meetings that I've been to, I've been able to talk to industry professionals and they're like, wow, we're really excited to see you. I want them to know that our VPs and the president support them and support the work they're doing, and we're listening to what they have to say. They are engaging. They are well put on. The business and industry folks are very active at these meetings. I have attended construction, technology, engineering tech, CIS, and business tech, and they have all four been just a delight to be around and have. So I'm super excited about those and looking forward to the changes that are made because of the input from the industry professionals. Also, October 2nd, I attended the Kansas Economic Outlook Conference, which was fantastic. It talks about the emerging fields that we have. They're the things that we would think, you know, healthcare definitely is at the top. The trades in general, just the hands-on, you know, work is there, as well as, of course, one of the hottest topics to me was AI, and that's an important one for me from an institutional standpoint. There was a speaker there, Miles Bassett. I have connected with him and he has done some work with universities, but he is just on point. I've had plenty of AI work previously at my previous institution for several years, and Miles is on point and definitely has a lot to offer us. So I'm looking at, you know, talking with him about the things that he's done. We have our own, you know, faculty member who is just fantastic. He is also got a great handle on AI and how it needs to be put out there for students, but also for our employees. We need productivity out of our employees. We ought to be able to gain a lot of productivity and make things, you know, more productive for us in a work environment by them learning those tools. And they're eager, they want to. We just have to put it out there and have the opportunity to do that. I think one of the most important things, I've heard it many times before, but it was said in front of everybody there in terms of AI. AI is only going to take a few jobs, but if you are a person that knows how to utilize AI, you will most likely take the job of someone that does not know how to use it. So it's a disservice to me to have our students going through Butler and graduating and not being exposed on how to use AI ethically and how to guide it. And there's a lot of critical thinking that goes into it. It's not just a tool that does all the work for you. So super excited about that. And in light of that, also one of the most interesting things to me that has happened. So we have quite a few software products, here at the college. And for me, software generally costs a lot of money. And I want a lot of productivity out of it. I want to see that we're using it, the way that we need to be using it. And so one of the software products that I had looked into was Aviso, which is a retention software, but it sits on top of Canvas, which is our learning management system. It's only as good as the productivity out of Canvas. And so it turns out when I was asking for some data in Canvas that we could not readily get out, it had to be pushed up to an executive level and still didn't get the data out that we wanted to be able to look at the performance. It turns out they have just recently in January turned on a new feature in Canvas that we had a recent meeting about a week ago. There was a team of us that sat through us. It's an AI-based data intelligence software to help with almost real time. It's up to the minute, probably not, immediately real time, but within a minute or so. It's an AI and machine learning model. It will give us data dashboards. It will give us real time. It increases our productivity in a lot of areas from what we're using right now. We are looking at this where it also has a great and Title IV compliance by extracting the data out of Canvas and not having to rely on the faculty members and the heavy manual lift that they have to do to turn in no-shows and make sure that we're in compliance. So super excited about what that has, to offer us in the future. And that is just, to me, the beginning of some of the new AI tools that we're going to see. So that's what I have. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, one comment for Dr. Daniel. I've heard from several people around town that you've been meeting with. And it's just, they're over the moon. They're very impressed. What do you think about her? Before you can answer, she's amazing. Like, okay. You never know what's coming if you just get an open-ended question. So
It's been very receptive and it's been great conversations. I enjoy engaging in those conversations and hearing.
Okay, thank you. On the educational facilities, we met last week, going through the process of collecting monies from folks that have rented the suites or signed on the suites. That's just moving along as it normally does in the year. Planning to winterize the facility. That's going on as well. The Butler facilities folks handle the winterization process. The big unfortunate update is if you've been to any sporting events, the Jumbotron has been slowly failing and has now failed. The video portion of the Jumbotron is in failure. The scoreboard still works, so it's still functional from the minimal aspects, but it's beyond its regular lifespan and will need to be replaced, and it is not a inexpensive replacement. So the three our three constituents, the college, the school district, and the city, are meeting to try to brainstorm ways to fundraise the cost, because it's not a budgeted expense item right now. So more to come on that. But if you go to a game and wonder why we don't have the full stream video like we normally do, that's the reason why right now. But that's it on the Educational Facilities Authority. Moving on from standing reports, we have our monitoring report this week, which is advancement, and turn that over to Tom.
Thank you, Forrest. You had presented to you the monitoring report from advancement. Just some highlights from that report. The dollars that came in through the foundation in last fiscal year was a little over $4 million, which is a lot of different activities happening throughout the college and the foundation to bring those dollars in. And so that's always kind of a nice number to see. But as we looked at our overall giving from the foundation's productivity, we're seeing a higher giving amount, but fewer people giving than we have in the past, which tells us that we need to really increase our base so we can get that number of participation up. And so that's a focus that we are looking at. Part of that is also the foundation goes in ebbs and flows. Capital projects come, bigger gifts come in, numbers go up, participation goes up. So we're kind of in the that moment where we're just sort of doing regular fundraising. And so that explains a little bit of that. We have looked at the auction. We're seeing a little bit of a decrease in the giving at the event. And we're thinking that as we analyze the tables, we can see who gives and who doesn't give. So we're thinking maybe we don't have all the right people in the room to help meet our revenue goals. And so we're having conversations with our sponsors and the people that have tables to try to promote the productivity at the table, so to speak, and increase that. So we recognize that, and we are putting some work into that. Sponsorships remain steady. That seems to be going good. And this morning, Avery Nelson did a great job in promoting the faculty and staff giving, which is our family fund. And last year, the faculty and staff gave up $38,000 to the college, and whether through the fund or through just giving in general. Dr. Daniel has kind of set a goal for a challenge to the faculty and staff, and she is matching dollar for dollar up to $5,000 to support the fund. So thank you, Dr. Daniel, for that. In marketing, kind of really the big kind of the what I think is a commitment from marketing that's been happening over the last couple of years is its commitment to construction tech. They have done an exceptional job in getting into that particular area, and we're holding, is it the third or fourth annual, Kelly? Third? Okay. Third Build Your Future event with high school students, and this will be held at the Kansas Coliseum or Kansas Casino here later this month, which is a huge event. Kids from all over the region will be there, and so I want to thank marketing for being such a kind of a really get involved in that and promoting that. We're still holding our Builders Bash, which is for the junior high students who will attend that on our campus as well. But you've been receiving a lot of updates from marketing, so I don't have a lot of updates for you other than that. Any questions?
Okay. Hey,
Thank
you, Tom. Okay, we'll move over to our strategic discussion items. It starts on page 10 of the board book. First is our quarterly update on FORA requests. Does anybody have any, Dr. Daniel, anything of note that you wanted to point out?
Most of the ones that are on here are either accepted, we've done it, we're waiting on payment. They're pretty standard. Most of them are outstanding.
Residence Hall access controls. Christina.
In 2018, we implemented access controls across our campuses to not only enhance campus safety, but to improve operational efficiencies, centralize the lockdown capabilities, automate door scheduling. So we have the ability to lock and unlock our doors without having campus police go around to our doors and physically unlock them. And then reduce the need to rekey doors when physical keys go missing or are lost. We are currently out to RFP. We went out to RFP last month. It's about a 6-week process for our residence halls. As you may have noticed in your board book, there are several other community colleges that have access controlled their residence halls or in the process. That would be Allen, Barton, KCK, Pratt, and Highland. And so just a little understanding of what the student experience is today when they come to our campus and reside in our residence halls is they have an access card that looks like this, that they gain access to the exterior door. And then to gain access to their dorm room, they have to use a physical key. So they're carrying 2 cards with them at all times to gain access to their place of residency. If they lose their physical key, it's a manual process to rekey the door and then reassign keys to everybody that resides in that room. The RFP opening is this Friday, and so from there we will evaluate if the project falls within scope, and we will select a partner from there. Our main priority is our residence halls. We did go out to RFP for mobile credentials. Everything's an app nowadays. And so if we can even remove even having a physical, plastic card, if we can give them an app on their phone that gives them their mobile credential, that would be even more ideal. Students are more willing to hand out their access card to a friend or a significant other, but they're less likely to pass off their phone to one of those and to give them access into their residence halls. We are also a part of this RFP is replacing our readers across our campuses with what's called an NFC reader. It's just a swap out of the actual reader itself that gives us the capability to take that mobile credential. And then Ireland had identified 40 crash bars that are in needing of replacement. They are either failing or they're just not working. And so a little deferred maintenance piece. Do I have any questions about this project?
If I remember correctly, we have funding for some of this from the prior capital campaign.
So we are actually evaluating what funding sources we should use for this project. That'll be a discussion that we'll have at the cabinet, and then we'll bring that back to you. We want to be very strategic on how we spend the funds across the institution, and so we'll make those decisions and bring those recommendations back to you.
Well, the key cards came to us before and there were funds there at the time.
Yeah.
So
Something over from the Capitol Mall. Is that still around?
let's see, yes, I think it was.
Okay, any other questions? Christina, thank you.
Thank you.
And I guess you get to keep the mic.
I got to keep on talking.
I'm Leach Bliley.
So this year, we just completed our GLBA assessment and we showed improvement from the previous year. We moved from 12 of the 15 safeguards being compliant to 14 of the 15 safeguards being compliant. So we're nearly there to fully compliant with our safeguards. During the GLBA assessment, we also have a risk assessment. And each year it has progressively gotten a little bit harder and we are assessed against more controls. Last year we were assessed against 117 controls, and this year we were assessed against 137 controls. Out of those 137, we were found either fully or partially compliant in 131 of those controls. We're down to the more complex controls and safeguards to comply with. And so these ones are going to take us a little bit longer to implement. But we predict that we'll see as the cybersecurity landscape changes, that our safeguards and controls will change with those. So we'll have to adapt as technology changes. During the executive session, I'll go into a little bit more detail on those areas that we are either not compliant or partially compliant and give you an update in those areas. So if you have questions, save those.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to our action items. First one, the Aruba Wireless.
I'm just nonstop tonight.
Yeah.
Information Services is requesting the replacement of 112 wireless access points. We have roughly about 400 in our environment today. The current devices are ending their life cycle and are needing to be replaced. So we're asking for your support to replace these access points. I do want to point out a great opportunity, and this always makes me really happy when we can provide these opportunities for our students. We have a infrastructure student worker that is in our techie program, and he is going to be the individual replacing all of our wireless access points for this phase 2 project. And he will actually physically replace them and do the configuration and the software. And this is a huge resume builder. This will give him an opportunity towards that network administration position when he leaves Butler.
With that, I'll move that the Board of Trustees move to purchase the wireless access points through CDWG for $77,302.48.
Second.
Any discussion? If not,
Trustee Good and trustee Brongard are absent. Trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
yes.
trustee Hueslick.
Yes.
Trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee.
Yes.
Okay, thank you all. That passes 5-0. Moving on, so we got a comeback of our open records policy that we initially chatted about last month. Kent, do you want to take it?
Thank you. Yeah, this is the policy that we brought last month. There was a question about this unreasonable burden on the college, and in looking at that, that is actually in the statute. So I just took it out of the policy that I'm recommending because it's there. If it also says you have to have a preponderance of evidence of why you would use that. So it's not something I think we would use often, but sometimes we do get requests from out of state, people who want to just search our records and then build databases they sell to other people. And, if these requests take hours and hours of our people's time, I think we, would need to rely on that statute in those kind of situations.
I'd move to approve the identification and access to public record policy as attached.
And I'll second.
Trustee Good and trustee Brongard are absent. Trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, that passes 5-0. If you'll move, let me get the right page here. So our last action item is what we moved out of the consent agenda, which would be page 34. The EMT course in Morris County. Shelby, did you have a particular question or?
I was just curious. It said student tuition and fees funded, no additional funding sources needed. But I wanted to see. what
I'm gonna let-
Is there? I know I didn't ask the last one.
Yeah. I did not get the update, but I know that Aiden and Dr. Robinson were looking over that. So would either of y'all like to share?
Okay, yeah. Some high level course financials from Council Grove in fall of 2024. So we had 9 students there. It's a 12-hour course, so 108 credit hours in total. The total funding we received from tuition and fees from Excel and CTE for a handful of students and from state aid was roughly $58,000. The course was taught by an adjunct, so salary is pretty favorable there. Instructor materials are a few $1,000s per course estimate. So the contribution margin we're estimating for that course was about $46,000. So quite good for that course.
Thank you. Is this one that we want to offer every year, or is there a particular demand that we know about that's driving to offer it right now?
Bit of a pent-up thing, because it hadn't been there for quite a while. It's on the schedule for the spring, just one time a year at spring semester. We'll evaluate the enrollment as we go. That's how the school wants that. If it warrants it, we'll run it. If it's low, we will.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve the course as outlined in the board book.
You brought it up. You bring the motion. I'll second it. I move that we approve the fire and EMS education to offer the FS 212 EMT course to Council Grove, Kansas.
Do we have a second? Second. I guess I would note, we say in Council Grove in the motion, but that would be, it's Morris County, which is part of our service
area.
Trustee Good and trustee Brongard are absent. Trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
No. Okay. That passes 4-1. Now we are at the rest of the consent agenda. Would it entertain a motion to approve that as we amended it?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Good and trustee Brungart are absent. Trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Are flying along.
Yep.
Aiden, any KPIs of note this month?
I spoke to it last month, but the information is in there now. Annual award per year has been updated, so you can see the increase year over year there.
Any questions? We got the monthly statement emailed to us. Dr. Daniel, anything to add on the calendar or otherwise?
The ACCP meeting is in New Orleans this year, and Mary Martha will be going as your trustee delegate, and myself, so we both will be attending that. And then there's this little event on Thursday at 3:00. I'll be-
And if you could gather at 2:30 in the Hall of Fame room, that's where we'll
Okay.
stage everybody.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the one that looks out over the basketball court?
Yes. On the south side.
Okay. Well, if we have no other questions for Dr. Daniel, we do have an exec session that I hope does not run as long as we are projecting, although this might be a new record for a regular meeting time, so I can't complain too much. The language for that motion, if anybody would like to make it, is on page 53.
Mr. Chair, I move the board recess into executive session for discussion of confidential information related to cybersecurity measures that protect specific systems, facilities, or equipment, including persons and properties, and for discussion of personnel matters relating to non-elected personnel, which, if discussed in open meeting, may violate the right to privacy, to include the board, Christina Byram, Roger Murrow, Tevin Manuel, Dr. Tamara Daniel, and Shelley Stoltz. The meeting will resume in 90 minutes.
And I'll second.
Trustee Good and trustee Brungart are absent. Trustee Jolly. No. Trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick.
Yeah.
Trustee Shearer.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
Was that a no resigned back to yes, or does that stay as a no? Okay, so that passes 4-1. With Linda's dissension noted. We'll recess into the conference room. I assume
Does that
that
mean you can leave, Linda? Well, I need more of us.
does, do we want to start with the cybersecurity portion, or do we want to start